The sky leans low, brushed with the soft glow of twilight. A gentle wind stirs the leaves along the banks of the rivers, carrying with it a quiet hum, as if the world itself is breathing slowly. The Tigris and Euphrates flow side by side, their waters gleaming like melted silver under the first tender light of evening. You float along their edges, carried not by hurry, but by the gentle pull of their current, and the world feels wide, calm, and safe. The land between the rivers is soft with grass and pale blossoms that nod in the wind. Their petals shimmer, delicate as whispers, reflecting the last traces of the sun. Here, the earth smells of water and warm soil, of roots and quiet growth. You hear the distant song of water over stone, a sound that feels like memory itself, rising and falling with the heartbeats of all who have walked this land before. The rivers murmur to one another, carrying stories of the first light, the first breath, the first silence. In this place, the air holds a gentle warmth, not of heat but of presence. You notice the sky deepen, turning to a soft indigo. Stars awaken slowly like tiny lanterns in a vast velvet hall. Their glow is tender, unhurried, as if the universe itself sighs in relief that night has come. The first star seems to hover above the waters, mirrored in the ripples, and for a moment you are sure it is speaking, offering reassurance with a quiet pulse that travels through the mind and the body alike. Here at the edges of Eden, the voice of the divine is not loud or commanding. It is a whisper, brushing against the ears and the skin, felt more than heard. It hums in the sway of reeds, in the ripple of water, in the gentle sighs of the wind. You drift closer to the river, feeling the cool touch of its waters lapping against your fingertips. Each wave feels like a pulse, like the soft reminder that life moves always, steadily, and peacefully. Along the banks, the trees stand in gentle clusters. Their trunks curve as if bowing in quiet prayer, and their leaves rustle in delicate conversation. You notice the shadows stretching long across the water, dark and soft, yet not frightening. These shadows cradle the light, and together they create a rhythm, a gentle heartbeat that matches your own, steadying your mind and your spirit. You breathe in, slow and full, and feel the soft peace of being exactly where you belong. A small heron glides across the river's surface, wings wide and silent. It dips and rises, carrying a grace that feels sacred, as though it has been sent by the winds to show the path of calm and presence. The heron does not hurry. Its movement is poetry in motion, a slow, careful dance that reminds you of the patience of the world, of the long, slow unfolding of all things. You let your eyes follow it, letting your thoughts float in rhythm with the heron's glide. Here in this sacred cradle, the rivers are more than water. They are mirrors of memory, reflecting both the earth and the sky, both the past and the future. Each ripple carries a story. One wave speaks of beginnings, when the first seed broke open and the first leaf turned toward the light. Another hums of journeys, of travelers who came seeking the touch of the divine in the softness of the wind. And still another whispers of rest, the kind of rest that soothes every tired corner of the soul. You lean closer to the water, letting its cool presence calm the edges of your mind, softening the lines of thought until they drift like fallen leaves. The garden blooms quietly here, each flower and vine moved not by force but by gentle intention. Soft vines climb the trees like delicate prayers reaching skyward, and the blossoms tilt their faces toward the last warmth of the day. You notice colors that feel familiar, yet unseen. Deep golds that hum like memory, pale blues that feel like a soft sigh, and gentle purples that seem to shimmer with the quiet weight of wonder. Every color seems alive, breathing in harmony with the rivers and the wind. Among the trees, small animals stir. A fox moves silently, its fur like the shadow of the earth, stepping lightly upon the soft moss. A deer pauses by the riverbank, drinking with careful grace, its eyes reflecting the first stars. Each creature moves with its own quiet purpose, and yet none disturb the delicate calm. They are companions in this gentle world, guides along the slow path of serenity. You watch and breathe, allowing their presence to ease any tension, to remind you that the world, in its most tender form, is a place of calm and care. A distant drum sounds, low and soft, as if beneath the earth itself. Its pulse is gentle, a reminder of the slow, steady heartbeat that runs beneath all life. You do not startle at it, instead you let its rhythm anchor you. It is a lullaby older than memory, older than the rivers themselves, and it carries a peace that sinks deep into your chest, into your mind, and into your bones. You feel yourself aligning with it, heartbeat matching heartbeat, breath following breath. In the middle of the rivers, a small island rises like a quiet promise. On it stands a single tree, taller than any around it, its branches reaching out in gentle arcs. The leaves shimmer with a light of their own, soft and warm, as if they carry the glow of all the stars above. You imagine stepping onto that island, barefoot on the soft moss, feeling the earth yield gently beneath your feet. Each step is a small blessing, each breath a prayer without words. You drift closer, allowing the rivers to guide you, letting the currents carry you as softly as a feather. The tree on the island holds a secret in its branches. Tiny lanterns, like captured stars, hang delicately, glowing with a steady, soft light. They sway slightly in the breeze, whispering gentle encouragement. You imagine reaching out, brushing your hand against the lanterns. Their warmth is subtle, not startling, filling you with the quiet understanding that the divine often speaks in the smallest, most tender gestures. Even the faintest light can guide a wandering heart. Around the tree, the rivers form a circle, a gentle embrace. You notice the water reflecting not only the stars above, but the lanterns, the leaves, the blossoms. Every reflection is alive, shimmering with possibility and memory. You feel yourself drifting in these reflections, in the calm dance of light and water, until the boundaries of self and world soften. You are part of the rivers, the tree, the sky, and the whispers of the wind. You are part of this gentle unfolding. The night deepens. The stars multiply, each one steady, patient, luminous. The moon rises, casting a tender silver path across the waters. It is not cold light, but a warm companion, wrapping the rivers and the trees and you in a soft embrace. You notice the ripple of the rivers along the moonlight, and in that gentle shimmer, you feel your thoughts quieting further, falling into a slower, softer rhythm. Soft whispers rise again, mingling with the rustle of leaves and the gentle lapping of water. They are not words, not in the usual sense. They are feelings, impressions, the faint hum of the universe reaching down into the quiet corners of your mind. The rivers seem to speak now directly, their currents telling of beginnings, of journeys, of the calm that follows every storm. You drift along these whispers, each one wrapping you more deeply in a sense of belonging, of gentle peace. A pair of doves coo softly from the trees, their wings fluttering like delicate pages turning. They move without hurry, without worry, reminding you that time in this place is slow, unmeasured. The night seems endless, not in a way that overwhelms, but in a way that allows every breath to stretch fully, every heartbeat to settle into a gentle cadence. You float with the rivers, with the wind, with the gentle pulse of life itself. The heron returns, gliding closer this time, wings brushing the surface of the river. It circles the tree on the island as if blessing it, or perhaps blessing the quiet presence you bring. You watch, still and silent, and feel a soft hum of gratitude in your chest. You do not need to speak. There is nothing to do but be here, in the gentle folds of the world, in the calm passage of water and wind, in the soft embrace of stars and moonlight. Soon, the drum beneath the earth grows even softer, fatting like a memory. The lanterns in the tree sway gently, their glow dimming slightly, reminding you that rest is near. The rivers continue their whispers, now slower, as if drawing a lullaby to its close. You feel yourself growing heavier with calm, sinking gently into the quiet rhythm of the night, your mind folding softly into the serenity around you. The stars continue their watch, tender and unhurried. The moon hangs above, steady and soft. The rivers, the winds, the trees, the heron, the doves, they all continue their gentle song, carrying you further into rest. You drift along their currents, feeling your breath settle, your heart slow, your mind at peace. Let us drift onward, along the silvered rivers of Eden. Let the whispers of water and wind cradle you. Let the lanterns, the stars, and the moonlight guide you into quiet dreams. Now rest as the rivers hum their lullaby, as the leaves sway gently in the wind, as the stars return their soft, watchful light. The world is calm, The night is gentle and you are safe. The night is tender, wrapped in the soft glow of moonlight that spills over the waters. You float along the quiet streams, where reeds sway in gentle rhythm, brushing each other as if whispering secrets. The air is filled with the scent of fresh water, of moss, of earth breathing slowly beneath the stars. Somewhere far away, the low murmur of distant waterfalls mingles with the night wind, creating a sound like a soft lullaby that carries the weight of time itself. The river widens, slow and steady, its surface smooth as silver glass. Here, the waters speak in a language older than words. You feel the pulse beneath your fingertips, a heartbeat that matches the rhythm of the world. This is the domain of Enki, the keeper of freshwater, the gentle shaper of life. His presence is not seen, yet it is felt in every current, in every ripple, in every drop that brushes the land with quiet care. You drift closer, letting the water guide you, letting the quiet wisdom settle around your shoulders like a soft cloak. The banks are lined with reeds and soft grasses that bend under the gentle breath of wind. Fireflies rise in slow spirals, their lights tiny and warm, tracing delicate paths through the darkness. Their glow is steady, rhythmic, like small lanterns marking the unseen passage of thought. You notice the reflection of the moon on the water, broken only by the occasional ripple, and you feel the gentle pull of calm, as though the river itself is drawing all tension from your mind. Enki's wellspring begins here, deep beneath the riverbed, unseen yet certain. Water trickles up from hidden depths, carrying life and knowledge in quiet streams. Each drop seems to hold a small truth, a fragment of understanding that does not demand attention, but offers itself gently to those who will receive it. You feel the pull of this wellspring in your chest, a soft invitation to sink deeper into stillness, to let the currents of wisdom guide your thoughts as clouds drift across a calm sky. Small fish glide beneath the surface, moving with careful grace. Their bodies catch the moonlight in brief flashes like sparks of insight in the quiet mind. You watch them breathing slowly, letting your thoughts follow their soft paths. They remind you that knowledge need not rush. It moves in gentle arcs, weaving through life like water through reeds. You notice that the river carries life in all its forms. Moss clinging to stones, dragonflies hovering just above the surface, tiny bubbles rising and bursting with soft sighs. Everything moves with purpose, yet without haste. Along the banks, smooth stones line the water's edge. Some are half submerged, worn by centuries of currents. You run your fingers along one, feeling its coolness, feeling the silent stories it has carried through time. These stones seem to hold the memory of every stream, every ripple, every drop that has ever passed. They whisper softly of beginnings and endings, of quiet understanding, of gentle endurance. You lean closer to the water, letting its smooth flow reflect your own mind, your own breath, slow and even like the river itself. The moon rises higher, spilling silver across the landscape. Its light touches the leaves of trees that bend over the water, each branch brushing the next in delicate conversation. You notice the soft shadows that play across the river, dark and luminous at once. They remind you that knowledge, like light, exists in both brightness and quiet shade. Both are necessary. Both are gentle teachers if you are willing to see with calm eyes. You float, letting the shadows and the light fold together, letting them cradle your mind in soft understanding. A gentle current leads you to a small pool, tucked between reeds and stones. Here, the water is still, a mirror reflecting stars and moon alike. The wellspring beneath feeds it quietly, endlessly, and you feel the depth of its calm in your chest. You sense the presence of Enki more clearly now, not as form, but as essence. His essence flows through the water, through the reeds, through the quiet heart of the night. It is the pulse of life itself, a quiet understanding that every drop matters, every breath carries meaning, every moment contains the seeds of wisdom. Dragonflies skim the surface of the pool, their wings catching the light in flashes of silver and gold. They hover and pause, delicate and patient, reminding you that insight often comes without effort, without force. You feel your thoughts settle like dust in still water, drifting down until only clarity remains. Each breath is a ripple, gentle and even, carrying you deeper into calm, into the soft embrace of understanding that does not demand, does not push, does not hurry. You notice the soft hum of wind moving through reeds and leaves. It is a sound of quiet affirmation, of life protected and nurtured. The river seems to speak directly to you, telling you of the gentle power that comes from flowing, from yielding, from allowing. Enki's wisdom is not harsh or commanding. It is quiet, patient, a steady current that shapes the land with care. You feel yourself absorbing that wisdom slowly, each heartbeat drawing it in, each exhale releasing tension, each thought softening like clouds over still waters. A heron glides over the pool, wings wide and silent, brushing the moonlight in slow arcs. You follow it with your eyes, feeling your mind move with its graceful rhythm. The heron reminds you of the careful balance of life, of patience, of quiet vigilance. It pauses at the edge of the water, lowering its head gently, and you sense that even in the smallest gestures, there is knowledge and calm. Life thrives in care, in attention, in soft, steady movement. You float in the rhythm of this world, letting it guide you, letting it ease you further into rest. Small lanterns appear along the banks, glowing faintly, casting gentle pools of light on the water. They sway in the soft wind, delicate and slow, reflecting in the surface of the river like tiny stars mirrored in the wellspring. Their glow does not demand attention. It invites calm, offering a sense of quiet presence. You drift past them, feeling the warmth in their gentle illumination, feeling it seep into your thoughts and into your chest, carrying a subtle peace that rests without force. The waters move gently, carrying you toward the deeper reaches of the river. The trees overhead bend low, their leaves whispering in a delicate song. You feel the pulse of life in their roots, in the water, in the quiet earth. Enki's presence flows through all of it, a steady current that nurtures, protects, and guides. You sense the gentle wisdom in the movement of the river, in the stillness of the pool, in the careful glide of birds and fish. You feel the rhythm of the world align with your own, slow and deep and steady. A soft mist rises from the water, curling in delicate spirals. It catches the moonlight, glowing faintly like silver smoke. You breathe it in, letting it fill your lungs with calm, letting it settle around your shoulders like a gentle shawl. Each tendril of mist carries a fragment of quiet understanding, a whisper of insight that drifts into your mind without urgency. You feel yourself soften into the night, into the river, into the pulse of life that flows in every drop, every leaf, every star above. The heron returns, circling above the pool, wings brushing the surface lightly. It pauses briefly, then rises, gliding slowly into the distance. You feel the current of its presence linger, a gentle reminder that the quiet wisdom of the world moves with patience, with care, with subtle strength. You let your thoughts follow the river, drifting along with each ripple, each soft sigh of wind, each faint flicker of lantern light. The night deepens further. Stars multiply in the sky, reflected in the still waters of the wellspring. You feel yourself dissolving into the calm of the river, into the gentle pulse of life, into the quiet embrace of understanding. Every breath is slow, every heartbeat steady, every thought softening like petals on water. Enki's gentle presence flows through you, carrying the power of insight without hurry, the grace of creation without force, the calm protection of life itself. The lanterns fade, their glow folding into the gentle dark. The mist drifts slowly, settling across the water like a delicate blanket. The heron disappears beyond the bend, leaving only the soft hum of wind, the gentle pulse of the river, and the silver reflection of moon and stars. You float in this quiet, letting it fill you, letting it carry you further into peace. Let us drift onward, along the gentle currents of the wellspring. Let the river carry you. Let the soft wind whisper through your mind. Let the stars and moonlight cradle your thoughts. Now rest as the waters hum their quiet song, as the reeds sway in tender rhythm, as the gentle presence of Enki flows through every drop of life. The night is calm, the river is patient, and you are safe. The sky softens with the first whispers of dawn. Hints of rose and gold spill across the horizon, brushing the edges of clouds with gentle light. You float above quiet valleys, above rivers that glimmer with reflected stars, feeling the stillness of the night slowly dissolve into the calm breath of morning. A soft wind stirs, carrying scents of dew, of blooming flowers, of the warm promise of the day. The world is slow, quiet, and tender, and in this moment you sense the rise of something luminous, something radiant just beyond the horizon. Above the hills, a single point of light grows brighter, steady, and unwavering. The morning star rises first, heralding the presence of Inanna, the goddess whose beauty and strength move together in delicate balance. She is both calm and brilliant, her steps gentle, her gaze steady, yet carrying the quiet weight of power. You feel her near, not in form but in presence, a warmth that fills the world like sunlight spilling over still waters. Every heartbeat of the land seems to sync with her ascent, slow and measured, like a soft drum under the chest of the sky. The clouds part lightly, revealing the shimmer of her path. Light spills over valleys and rivers, catching the edges of leaves and blades of grass in a tender glow. Flowers tilt their heads toward the first warmth, their petals brushing softly against each other. You notice the delicate movements of life, the subtle ripple of water, the faint coo of doves, the soft scuttle of small creatures through the undergrowth. All of it moves with calm purpose, guided by the quiet flow of energy that surrounds her. Inanna's radiance is gentle yet commanding. It does not startle, does not burn, but it moves through the world with quiet insistence, reminding you of the strength that comes from harmony, from holding both light and shadow together. You drift closer to the hills, feeling the pulse of the land under the rising glow. Stones, smoothed by centuries, hum faintly under your touch. They carry memory, the stories of those who have walked this earth, of battles and dances, of love and quiet devotion. Each breath you take seems to draw some of that memory into your chest, easing it into your bones. The rivers shimmer in her light, ribbons of silver and gold stretching across the landscape. Fish glide beneath the surface, scales catching the sun in flashes that feel like small sparks of insight. Water lilies float quietly, petals unfolding with the slow movement of the morning, mirroring the unfolding of the soul. You follow the currents with your eyes, tracing the gentle arcs of life carried by the streams. The water does not rush. It does not force its way. It moves with patience like the goddess herself, carrying nourishment, knowledge, and calm wherever it flows. Birds rise in soft flocks, their wings brushing the early light. They circle above the hills, their calls gentle and harmonious, weaving with the whisper of wind through leaves. You notice the heron at the edge of a pool, wings wide and deliberate, gliding in circles that seem to echo the rhythm of the rising goddess. Even the smallest creatures seem touched by her presence, moving with a quiet grace that reminds you that all life is woven together, and that even in stillness, there is power, there is purpose, there is gentle strength. The wind shifts softly, carrying the faint scent of myrrh and frankincense, of jasmine and wild mint. It touches your skin, a reminder that presence is not always seen but felt, flowing through senses and memory alike. Inanna rises steadily, her path traced with subtle sparkles that dance across the morning haze. She does not hurry, and yet the world bends to her rhythm. Mountains glow with tender warmth, forests breathe in unison, and the rivers shimmer as though greeting her ascent. You feel yourself moving with this rhythm, your breath slowing, your heartbeat settling, your mind folding into the gentle cadence of her rise. Inanna carries both the sword and the flower, a symbol of strength and tenderness intertwined. The sword rests lightly at her side, polished, silent, yet carrying the quiet certainty of protection. In her other hand, a single blossom opens slowly, petals soft and glowing in the morning light. You notice that the sword does not threaten the flower, and the flower does not weaken the sword. They exist in harmony as she does, teaching that the soul may hold many truths, that beauty and courage can coexist without conflict. You breathe in the lesson gently, letting it settle softly, like dew on the grass. The valleys respond to her presence. Small streams reflect the glow of the morning star, carrying silver light through reeds and moss. Deer lift their heads, ears twitching, watching with calm eyes as the world brightens. Each ripple in the water, each sway of a tree branch, each soft flight of a bird seems choreographed by her ascent, moving in quiet arcs of purpose and ease. You drift along the rivers, carried by gentle currents, carried by the rise of light and calm, letting every sense absorb the peaceful harmony around you. Clouds gather softly on the horizon, tinged with gentle rose and pale gold. They move slowly, swirling in patterns that feel like a delicate dance. Inanna steps lightly among the clouds, her robes brushing the edges, her gaze steady yet full of warmth. She smiles without sound, and the world smiles back in subtle ripples of life. Leaves flutter, waters glimmer, and the air carries the faint hum of creation itself. You feel her presence in your chest now, a calm warmth, steady and nurturing, carrying the reminder that strength need not be harsh, that courage can exist within tenderness, that light and shadow are partners in the dance of life. Along the riverbanks, small lanterns appear, flickering softly in the early glow. Their light is warm and steady, like tiny stars resting among reeds and flowers. They mark the path of quiet reflection, guiding you without demand, illuminating only enough to see, never to startle. You notice the reflection of these lanterns in the water, and in each reflection, a gentle pulse of understanding seems to rise. It is a lesson without words: patience, balance, calm, presence. You breathe with the river, with the wind, with the soft arcs of light in the world, letting the lessons settle in your mind as soft as mist. Inanna rises higher now, her morning star blazing gently, painting the world with a tender glow. The sword in her hand catches the light, not sharply but softly, a quiet promise of protection and clarity. The flower in her other hand opens fully, petals brushing against the air, carrying fragrance and calm. You feel your chest expand slightly with each inhale, your body settling into the rhythm of her ascent, your mind softening like petals falling onto water. Even the small creatures of the forest, the river, and the hills seem to pause in reverence, their movements slow, measured, harmonious. The clouds shift, forming soft arches through which the light spills, touching stones, leaves, and water. You notice the river widening, reflecting the sky in gentle silver, carrying ripples that move with the rhythm of her rise. Fish glide beneath the surface, dragonflies skim along the edges, and the soft rustle of grasses in the wind joins the quiet chorus. The world seems to breathe with her, and in the breathing, you find your own breath slowing further, your mind easing, your thoughts drifting softly along currents of calm and light. The heron returns, gliding low over the river, wings wide and deliberate. It circles once, twice, then lands gently at the water's edge. You watch, heart and breath aligned with its steady rhythm, feeling the lesson of patience, presence, and gentle strength echo through your own being. Even the smallest movements carry meaning. Even the softest gestures reflect intention. You notice the interplay of sword and flower, of strength and grace, and feel that same balance within yourself, quiet and sure. The sun rises fully now, spilling golden warmth across the valleys. Light dances across rivers, highlighting each stone and ripple, each leaf and flower. The morning star fades gently, leaving Inanna's presence still felt in every current, every shadow, every glimmer of light. You drift along the rivers, carried by the quiet power of her ascent, feeling the calm linger in your chest, in your limbs, in your mind. You are a part of this soft, radiant world, cradled by its gentle rhythm, by the quiet teaching of strength and tenderness intertwined. Let us drift onward, following the gentle glow of dawn, following the river, following the calm rhythm of the world. Let the soft light of Inanna's morning star rest within your heart. Let the rivers carry you. Let the wind whisper over your skin. Let the birds and lanterns and flowers cradle your thoughts. Now rest, as the skies shimmer with quiet radiance, as the rivers hum their lullaby, as the world holds you in gentle, enduring peace. The night has gone, the morning is soft, and you are safe. The sky stretches wide, soft as linen, brushed with faint whispers of gold and lavender. Dawn tiptoes across the horizon, spilling light over the golden ziggurats that rise from the quiet valleys below. You float above them, the air cool and gentle on your skin, carrying the faint scent of morning dew and warm stone. The world is hushed, as if holding its breath, waiting for something ancient and tender to unfold. High above, the heavens shimmer. Light flows across clouds that drift slowly, their edges glimmering like silver thread. The winds move softly here, brushing against one another in gentle arcs. You notice the subtle pulse in the air, the quiet rhythm that stretches across the sky. It is here that Anu, Lord of the Heavens, observes the soft currents of the world below, his presence vast yet calm, like a quiet sun waiting to rise fully. The first breeze carries a whisper barely felt, a movement of air that brushes your face and carries a scent of distant rain. Anu stirs, his attention touching the winds, guiding them with a delicate hand. The currents shift slowly, circling each other like dancers in a silent, measured rhythm. Each swirl is a conversation, a balance between motion and stillness, strength and surrender. You feel the pulse of the sky, steady and deep, like the slow beat of a great heart suspended above the world. The ziggurats below gleam with gentle warmth. Their stones, polished by countless suns and moons, seem to drink the light, reflecting it softly into the valleys. You notice the wind brushing over them, lifting small clouds of dust that dance lazily in the air. The motion is subtle, careful, a slow play of energy that ripples through the land without disturbance. Even the smallest leaf on the tallest tree seems touched by this rhythm, bending in quiet acknowledgement. Anu's presence is vast, yet it moves with tender care. He does not rush the sky. He does not command it harshly. Each gust, each ripple of cloud is shaped with gentle intent, guided by awareness that is both immense and patient. You float with the currents, feeling the quiet influence of his hand on the air. The winds obey not out of fear, but out of soft alignment with a rhythm older than memory, carrying the pulse of the heavens in every breath. The first rays of sunlight spill over distant mountains, and the sky deepens in color. Pale gold edges the clouds, moving with slow deliberation. Anu lifts his gaze higher, and the winds respond, coiling and stretching, circling one another in a dance that feels sacred and eternal. The air hums softly, a sound you feel in your chest more than hear. It carries a calm energy, the kind that eases thought, slows the heartbeat, and softens the mind into quiet reverence. The sacred duel begins not with force, but with grace. Anu's command meets the playful push of the sky winds, and together they move in arcs of gentle tension, flowing, folding, rising, and yielding. The duel is measured, not urgent. Each gust of wind is a note in an unseen song, each pause a breath of understanding. You watch as the currents sway, coil, and release, carrying light and shadow across the sky in patterns that feel like soft whispers of truth. Beneath the heavens, the valleys rest quietly. Streams reflect the soft glow of morning, rippling gently as if mirroring the movements above. The leaves of the forest sway in harmony with the wind's slow pulse. Even the smallest creatures, ants moving across warm stones, birds lifting quietly into the air, seem to participate in the rhythm of this sacred dance. You feel yourself carried by it, your body floating in alignment with the currents, your mind soft and open to the gentle sway of breath and air. The winds circle higher now, spiraling with a quiet energy. Their touch is delicate, brushing clouds, stirring petals, shifting reflections in pools of water. The duel is not loud nor harsh. It is a gentle shaping, a balancing of energy that is both seen and unseen. You notice that the air itself seems to hum with a soft luminescence, carrying the subtle glow of the dawn through its motions. Every movement feels precise, yet effortless, like a lullaby carried across the sky. Anu raises his hand slowly, and the winds respond in kind. The motion is subtle, almost imperceptible, yet it is enough to steady the currents, to fold their arcs into gentle spirals, to guide the clouds in a way that balances the light. The world below seems to breathe with this rhythm, rivers catching glimmers of the early sun, stones warmed softly, flowers lifting toward the glow. You feel the calm of alignment in your chest, a steady pulse that matches the quiet heartbeat of the heavens. Clouds drift in arcs, some pale and luminous, some tinged with the soft rose of morning. Their movement is deliberate yet relaxed, like dancers swaying to a quiet melody. The winds weave through them with gentle insistence, lifting, bending, guiding, but never pushing too hard. The sky is alive with soft energy, and you sense the presence of Anu in every shift, every curl of cloud, every ripple of air. His strength is calm, measured, patient, and it carries a quiet reassurance that the world is held in care. A heron glides across a distant river, wings wide, catching the light of the rising sun. You notice its slow, deliberate arcs, and your mind slows with it. Even the creatures of earth and water seem touched by the rhythm of the duel above, moving in harmony, flowing gently along currents of calm. The winds brush the trees, lifting leaves, carrying petals, sending tiny fragrances on the air. You inhale softly, letting their delicate perfume settle in your chest, letting your body match the gentle motion of the world around you. The sacred duel deepens in subtle layers. One current lifts higher, another yields gracefully, weaving in soft patterns that ripple across the horizon. Light scatters through the clouds, striking stones, leaves, and water with gentle flashes of warmth. You notice the slow reflections in pools and rivers, the soft flicker of golden light across distant mountains. Each moment is a lesson without words, a rhythm without urgency, a quiet assurance that the world moves with calm purpose and gentle balance. The air hums softly, carrying the slow vibration of the heavens through the sky. You feel it in your chest, in your limbs, in your mind. The duel continues, but it is not battle, it is balance. It is the art of holding power lightly, of shaping movement without force, of guiding without pressing. The clouds twist gently in response, the winds curl and release, and the morning sun grows steadily, casting light that warms without burning, that illuminates without demanding. Along the ziggurats, small lanterns flicker with soft light. They catch the edges of stone and shadow, moving with the gentle pull of the air. Their glow reflects faintly in rivers, pools, and the dew-kissed grass below. You drift among these lights, letting their presence settle softly into your mind. Each lantern is a small pulse of understanding, the rhythm of patience, the softness of power, the quiet harmony of heaven and earth intertwined. The duel slows now, the currents coiling into arcs of calm. The winds settle, guided gently by the steady gaze of Anu. Clouds stretch into long, soft lines, brushing mountains, valleys, rivers, and forests with tender light. The pulse of the sky becomes a gentle hum, carrying peace into every corner of the world below. You float with it, carried by its rhythm, your breath slow and full, your mind soft and clear, every thought easing like petals on still water. The golden ziggurats glow fully in the morning sun. Rivers mirror their steady warmth. Trees sway with a gentle sigh. Even the smallest creatures rest in the soft alignment of the day. The sky stretches high, vast and tender, holding every moment in its calm expanse. You feel a quiet understanding settle in your chest, that power and patience, force and gentleness, light and shadow can all exist together without conflict. You float in the knowledge, letting it cradle your mind. Let us drift onward, carried by the slow pulse of wind and sky, carried by the calm rhythm of currents and clouds. Let the gentle strength of Anu settle in your heart, letting every breath and heartbeat align with the quiet dance of the heavens. Now rest, as the winds fold into stillness, as the ziggurats glow softly beneath the sun, as the world holds you in gentle, enduring peace. The sky is calm, the day is tender, and you are safe. The first hints of dawn touch the horizon, soft and tentative, as if the world itself is breathing in gently. You drift above the quiet earth, where mist curls over valleys and the tops of trees shimmer in silver light. The air is cool, scented faintly with dew and pine, carrying the tender hum of awakening life. Somewhere deep in the forest, a brook murmurs softly, threading its way among stones and roots, and you feel its gentle rhythm echo in your own chest. The forest spreads wide, dense and quiet, a cathedral of green and gold. Shafts of morning light pierce through leaves, illuminating the path of soft shadows on the forest floor. Every branch, every leaf, every small creature moves slowly, as if the world itself honors the sacred hush before the sun rises fully. Here begins the journey of Gilgamesh, the hero whose heart beats both with courage and curiosity, who walks among shadows to find the light within himself. The cedars rise tall, their trunks wide and steady, branches whispering secrets to each other in the wind. You notice the patterns of sunlight on their bark, the small flecks of moss clinging gently, the way the air seems to shimmer slightly where roots touch the soil. The forest is alive in quiet ways, the hum of insects hidden in bark, the faint flutter of birds lifting from low branches, the subtle rustle of leaves brushing against one another. Every sound is soft, rhythmic, a gentle lullaby that moves your thoughts into calm stillness. Gilgamesh steps lightly into this world, his presence strong but unhurried. His gaze rests on the path before him, eyes tracing the shadows that gather beneath the towering trees. The forest seems to recognize him, bending slightly with the motion of his steps, swaying in quiet acknowledgement. Here, in the heart of cedar and shade, he faces not just the towering forms of trees or the whispering wind, but the shadows within himself, the hesitations, the fears, the unknowns that dwell quietly in the soul. The air carries the deep, earthy scent of pine resin and damp soil. You drift with it, letting the richness fill your senses, letting it soften your mind. Each breath brings a gentle warmth, a slow unfolding of calm that spreads from your chest through your limbs. The forest around Gilgamesh is a space between worlds, a place where courage and shadow meet in quiet balance, where every movement matters but none is forced. As he walks, small animals pause and watch squirrels, deer, and foxes, their eyes bright but gentle, reflecting the soft morning light. Even they are part of this rhythm, moving with the pulse of the forest, acknowledging the quiet strength that carries through the air. You notice how the leaves catch the sun, each flicker of gold and green a reflection of the courage that rises slowly, gently in the heart of the hero. The deeper Gilgamesh moves into the forest, the taller the shadows grow. They gather beneath the trees, cool and soft, stretching across roots and rocks like gentle reminders of hidden depths. Humbaba, the guardian of the cedars, waits in the silence, not with harsh force but as a presence that tests patience, attention, and courage. The forest itself holds its breath, allowing the meeting to unfold slowly, each moment a small lesson in stillness and awareness. Gilgamesh pauses beside a brook, its water smooth and silver, reflecting the subtle hues of dawn. He kneels briefly, letting his hands touch the cool flow, feeling the slow pulse of life carried in every ripple. Even the water seems to whisper encouragement, carrying away hesitation, calming the mind, inviting courage to rise without rush. The shadows move softly around him, bending with the current, brushing against roots and stones, teaching that even fear can be gentle if met with steady heart. The trees sway lightly, brushing leaves together in a soft song. Their voices rise and fall with the wind, weaving a quiet melody that echoes through the cedars. Gilgamesh listens, letting the rhythm enter his chest. The forest itself guides him, not with commands but with presence, showing that courage is not the absence of fear, but the patient embrace of what lies before the soul. You float alongside this rhythm, your breath settling into the gentle cadence of forest and hero alike. The shadows deepen where the cedars grow thickest. Here, Humbaba emerges, not in sudden fury but as a quiet, immense form, moving with deliberate care. His eyes are pools of time, reflecting the centuries of forest and sky, of sun and rain, of life and stillness. Gilgamesh does not flinch. He does not rush. He steps softly, guided by the calm strength that grows from patience and focus. The forest bends slightly as if to witness the balance of courage and restraint, of light moving within shadow. The duel begins in silence, a slow exchange of presence rather than noise. Humbaba moves with measured arcs, branches brushing the air gently, roots shifting subtly beneath his weight. Gilgamesh responds, steps deliberate, hands soft yet ready. Each movement is mirrored by the forest, the leaves, the streams, the birds, the stones. Even the shadows seem to breathe with the rhythm, rising and folding like waves carried on a quiet tide. You feel the pulse in your chest align with the pulse of the duel, each heartbeat soft and even, each thought drifting in gentle arcs. The cedars hum with the quiet energy of the battle. Light and shadow swirl together in slow, luminous patterns, creating a tapestry of calm tension. The wind lifts softly, carrying the scent of pine and earth, brushing gently against skin and leaf. Gilgamesh feels the forest guide him, every step a quiet prayer, every pause a small acknowledgement of presence and balance. You float alongside, carried by the rhythm, carried by the quiet pulse that moves through every living thing in this sacred place. Humbaba lowers his gaze briefly, and the forest responds, leaves shivering in acknowledgement of patience and respect. The duel continues, not with anger but with awareness, each movement deliberate, each arc of body and branch measured. Shadows fold and unfold in a slow dance, sunlight flickering through cedars to mark the rhythm. Gilgamesh mirrors it, flowing with the energy, not resisting, not forcing, letting courage rise gently within him. The brook murmurs, carrying light and shadow in its silver reflection. You notice the dragonflies hovering above it, wings catching the dawn, tracing soft arcs that echo the duel's rhythm. Even the smallest beings participate in the balance, moving with care, teaching that all life is part of the pulse, all moments part of the slow unfolding of courage, presence, and calm. The forest whispers this truth quietly, and you absorb it, letting it settle in your chest like morning mist on the trees. The duel reaches a delicate apex. Humbaba steps aside, allowing light to touch the deepest shadows. Gilgamesh breathes slowly, his chest rising and falling in time with the forest's pulse. The cedars sway in gentle arcs, the wind curls softly, the brook reflects silver and gold, and the small creatures of the forest pause in reverent stillness. Courage and fear, shadow and light, power and patience, all fold together seamlessly. You float in this harmony, letting it carry every worry, every tension, every thought away in soft, flowing arcs. Humbaba recedes into the forest's depths, not defeated but balanced, as if acknowledging the steady heart of the hero. Gilgamesh stands among the cedars, calm and luminous, the forest breathing around him in quiet gratitude. Even the shadows seem softened, flowing gently into the rhythm of dawn and life. You feel the pulse of the forest in your chest, the steady heartbeat of courage, patience, and calm rising softly within you. Light spreads fully across the forest, touching every branch, leaf, and stone. Streams glimmer silver, dew sparkles on moss, and the air hums with gentle energy. The sacred duel has passed, leaving not chaos but harmony, not noise but quiet understanding. You drift among the trees, carried by the pulse of the forest, carried by the calm strength of Gilgamesh and the enduring presence of Humbaba, feeling every breath and heartbeat align with the rhythm of life itself. Let us drift onward, following the gentle arcs of wind and light, the soft pulse of rivers and shadows, the quiet strength of forests and hearts. Let the calm courage of Gilgamesh settle within you, letting your breath flow slow and steady, letting your mind soften like the mist between cedars. Now rest, as the forest hums its lullaby, as shadows fold into gentle arcs, as the morning light warms the world and holds you in enduring peace. The forest is still, the shadows are soft, and you are safe. Twilight drifts softly over the city of Uruk, brushing its ancient walls with shades of rose and silver. You float above the streets, feeling the cool embrace of evening air and the subtle hum of the city settling into rest. Dust rises gently from worn stones, drifting in the last golden light, carrying the scent of baked clay and cedar. Each breath feels slow and full, drawing the quiet rhythm of the city into your chest. The walls of Uruk stand tall, smooth, and steadfast, catching the fading light in gentle arcs. Shadows stretch across courtyards, weaving among arches and towers, creating soft patterns that sway with the evening wind. You notice the small movements of life within the city, the distant steps of travelers, the flicker of candlelight through windows, the quiet rustle of animals in hidden alleys. Every sound is tender, a lullaby in the language of dust, stone, and air. Above the sacred walls, stars begin to emerge, faint and steady, one by one like whispered memories of long-forgotten moments. You drift among them, letting your gaze follow their soft glimmer. They are guides, marking the paths of kings and spirits who walked the streets centuries before, who shaped Uruk not with desire for power, but with a quiet determination to protect balance, harmony, and life itself. The city breathes around them, a living memory of care and gentle courage. The ziggurats rise in quiet dignity, their stones glowing faintly in the cool twilight. You notice their surfaces, smooth from centuries of wind and sun, etched with carvings that speak in silence. Each line, each curve is a pulse of history, a reminder of those who sought wisdom and protection, who understood that strength is quiet and courage is patient. You float closer, brushing past the edges of the stones, feeling the faint warmth that remains after the sun's passage. Through the winding streets, you see the echoes of life, merchants folding their wares, children settling near hearths, small fires flickering softly in courtyards. The city itself seems to exhale, releasing the heat of the day, letting the dust drift freely in the calm. You follow it as it swirls gently over stones, over steps, over rooftops, carrying with it the scent of earth, clay, and cedarwood incense. The dust is soft, a reminder that even the smallest particles hold memory, holding the traces of countless quiet deeds and silent guardianship. The temple stands in the heart of Uruk, quiet now, its doors closed against the soft chill of evening. You drift toward it, feeling the sacred presence of centuries folding into itself. Incense lingers faintly, the faint trace of myrrh and frankincense carrying stories of prayers, of offerings, of whispered hopes. The temple walls glow faintly beneath the first stars, reflecting their light softly onto the stone floors. Each shadow moves gently, curling and stretching in slow arcs, teaching that stillness is a part of vigilance, and quiet reflection is a form of protection. From the top of the ziggurat, the view stretches wide. You see the river glimmering faintly, catching the stars in its ripples, winding through gardens and streets alike. Boats rest along the banks, quiet and empty now, floating softly with the gentle pull of the current. The wind brushes through reeds, through branches, through quiet corridors, carrying a song of balance, of guardianship, of slow, steady care. You drift along the river's path, letting its rhythm ease your heartbeat, letting its quiet presence remind you that even water has patience. Through the city, the shadows of spirits seem to stir softly. They are not frightening, they move with care, observing, protecting, guiding. You feel them brushing past walls, gliding over rooftops, slipping through gates, their presence like a faint pulse beneath your skin. They carry the memory of those who lived with purpose, who knew that the city is more than stone and clay. It is a living heart, a quiet balance of life, courage, and humility. You float among them, letting their calm energy settle within your chest, softening every thought. The streets narrow beneath the ziggurats, weaving between small courtyards and quiet gardens. Flowers bend gently in the evening air, their petals soft, catching the faint silver light. Trees sway slowly, leaves brushing against one another, creating a soft, rustling hymn that drifts along the paths. You notice the subtle movement of every branch and leaf, every ripple of air, every flicker of light, all participating in the slow unfolding of the night. The city is alive in quiet ways, teaching that vigilance and tenderness are partners, that balance is maintained in stillness as much as in motion. Gilgamesh's presence lingers here, though unseen, echoing through the dust and stone. You feel the pulse of his courage, patient and measured, rising softly like the breath of the city itself. His deeds were not marked only in battle, but in protection, in steady care, in recognition of the fragile harmony that holds life together. The dust beneath your feet carries whispers of his footsteps, his quiet decisions, his gentle awareness that strength is tempered by thought, that courage is folded into kindness. The river mirrors the rising moon now, silver and tender. Its surface ripples softly as fish glide beneath, dragonflies skim above, and reeds bend in graceful arcs. You drift with it, carried by the gentle current, letting every ripple echo through your chest. The city glows faintly in its reflection, walls and ziggurats shimmering like quiet stars upon the water. The moon rises fully, brushing rooftops and courtyards with pale, luminous light, illuminating dust and shadow alike in soft harmony. From high above, you see the gardens tucked between walls. Their flowers lift and sway in the gentle night breeze, petals brushing against one another in silent conversation. The scent of jasmine, cedar, and warm earth drifts upward, mingling with the cool night air. Even here, among blossoms and shadows, the lessons of balance and protection are clear. Life is nurtured gently, Courage unfolds slowly, and every quiet act holds the weight of eternity. You float among these scents, letting them enter your senses fully, softening every corner of your mind. The city hums in gentle rhythm, carried by the faint wind and the slow breath of stars. Lamps flicker softly in courtyards, their light reflecting faintly in puddles and riverbanks. Children's laughter drifts faintly from hidden homes, quiet now, fading into sleep. You notice the shadows curling along walls and doorways, moving with deliberate care, creating arcs that echo the pulse of the city, the pulse of the stars, the pulse of the dust itself. You breathe slowly with it, letting every inhale settle, letting every exhale flow in harmony with the calm. The sacred walls of Uruk rise higher beneath the moonlight, smooth and steadfast, yet touched with the faint scars of history. You drift along them, feeling the memory carried in stone, in dust, in quiet echoes. Kings and spirits, heroes and guardians, all shaped this city with patient hands, each small gesture a quiet act of care. The dust swirls around your feet, carrying their lessons, reminding you that strength is calm, vigilance is gentle, and balance is found in the patient attention to life's subtle rhythms. The moon arcs higher, spreading silver across rooftops, rivers, and gardens. The city is quiet now, every sound soft, every motion measured. You drift with the dust, with the shadows, with the faint glow of lamps and stars, letting the rhythm carry you. Every heartbeat aligns with the pulse of Uruk, steady and calm, slow and measured, a lullaby of stone, water, air, and memory. You feel the quiet courage of every soul who walked here, their purpose gentle yet enduring, their strength calm and sure. Let us drift onward, carried by the gentle pull of the river, the soft sway of trees, the calm pulse of dust and stone. Let the whispers of Uruk settle within your heart, letting every breath flow slow and steady, every thought drift softly into stillness. Now rest as the stars return fully, as the city exhales into the night, as the dust of ancient walls cradles you in quiet, enduring peace. Beneath the gentle fold of the earth, where the wind carries only the softest echoes, lies a kingdom of quiet shadows. You drift slowly now, descending through layers of twilight, each step lighter than the one before. The air is cool, almost liquid, brushing softly against your skin. Here, the world above feels distant, like a half-remembered dream. The light of the sun no longer reaches these halls. Instead, a faint, golden glow lingers like the memory of candlelight, touching stone walls and still pools. You move without hurry, guided by a calm current that seems to whisper, inviting you deeper. There is no fear here, only the steady rhythm of breath. Echoing through the silent chambers. This is the domain of Ereshkigal, the queen of the underworld. She is not cruel nor harsh. She is the keeper of rest, of surrender, of endings that bloom into beginnings. Her eyes are deep as night, reflecting the hidden stars that dwell beneath the surface of the world. Her presence is still, vast, like a river that flows quietly beneath ice. You feel her watching not with judgment, but with gentle attention. Soft steps carry you into a hall where the walls are carved with symbols of life and decay, side by side, moving together in silent harmony. The air smells faintly of damp earth, of roots reaching for hidden waters. You notice a small, still pond, its surface smooth as polished glass. When your reflection touches it, ripples spread slowly, fading into quiet. Each ripple is a thought letting go, a tension melting into the calm. You sense Ereshkigal's court around you, not of people, but of shadows that move with their own quiet purpose. They glide like slow clouds, bearing lessons of stillness. You float among them, feeling the gentle tug of the underworld's rhythm. Here, every sound is soft, a distant drip, the faint brush of wings unseen, the slow whisper of stones settling. Every breath you take matches the heartbeat of the deep earth, slow and sure. Time here is fluid. Minutes stretch like the curve of a river, and yet they vanish like mist. You watch as soft lights rise from the floor, drifting upward like spirits released from the world above. They shimmer briefly and fade, returning to shadow, teaching you the beauty of letting go. There is no rush, no urgency, only the calm understanding that all things must rest. In this quiet, you remember the stories of those who have come before. They speak of Ereshkigal not as a tyrant, but as a teacher. She shows how the spirit bends, how it kneels in surrender, how endings are gentle, not harsh. You feel your own shoulders loosen, your chest opening with each slow inhale. The kingdom below is not a place of sorrow. It is a place of pause, where the soul finds its own deep rhythm. A soft wind moves through the hall, carrying the scent of ancient stones and faint incense. It brushes against your cheeks, encouraging your eyelids to feel heavy. Each blink is slower than the last, each breath a soft wave rolling over the shore of your awareness. You drift further, and the world above seems less and less real, like a dream dissolving at sunrise. A narrow corridor leads you to a garden, hidden in shadow, where flowers bloom without color, their petals white and soft, glowing faintly in the golden gloom. Each flower sways gently, though there is no wind, as if breathing in the quiet. Ereshkigal walks among them, her presence stirring the air, yet never disturbing it. She moves without sound, without hurry, teaching the soul the grace of stillness. You follow, not with eyes, but with the feeling of your spirit brushing against hers. In the center of the garden is a pool, darker than any shadow. You lean closer and see your reflection, softened and blurred like smoke curling in the air. Around it, small lights drift slowly, little guides that teach the art of release. You exhale deeply, letting go of thoughts, letting the tension of the day settle like silt at the bottom of a river. Each worry is a leaf falling into the water, each fear a stone sinking quietly. Ereshkigal bends near the pool. Her hand does not touch, yet you feel the gentle pulse of understanding pass through you. She does not ask for effort. She does not demand change. She simply allows, showing that surrender is not weakness but a form of quiet strength. You watch the pool, and in it see not endings but transformations. What falls into shadow rises again, softened, renewed, ready to return to the surface in its own time. A low, distant drum begins, soft as a heartbeat beneath the earth. It is the rhythm of the underworld, a pulse that moves through stone and root, through spirit and sleep. Each beat carries you farther into stillness, deeper into the gentle fold of night. You feel yourself merging with the rhythm, a single breath with the slow drum, a quiet note in the symphony of shadow. Softly you move to a chamber lined with mirrors of water, where each reflection shows not only the face, but the quiet journey of the soul. You see shapes rise and fade, flickers of memory and dream. Ereshkigal watches, and in her gaze, you feel the acceptance of every choice, every step, every moment of life and surrender. Nothing is lost here, only transformed, folded into the deep silence that holds all things. You sit by the largest pool, its surface calm and endless. Around it, faint lights drift like fireflies trapped beneath glass. The air hums softly, a lullaby in the language of stone and root. Ereshkigal kneels nearby, her hands brushing lightly over the water, leaving tiny ripples that disappear before reaching the edge. You watch, and the ripples feel like the passing of thoughts, the soft letting go of worries. A veil of mist rises from the pool, swirling slowly around you. Each wisp carries the memory of gentle moments, of hands held, of quiet laughter, of sunsets seen through tired eyes. The mist wraps you in its cool embrace, whispering softly, rest, release, return to the quiet. You inhale the calm, and with it, the steady assurance that you are safe here in the gentle kingdom below. The walls around you are carved with stories in shadow and light. Each figure moves slowly, breathing in and out with the pulse of the earth. They tell of the spirits who have walked this path, learning the art of quiet surrender. You feel your own spirit step lightly among them, learning, letting go, drifting in harmony with the deep rhythm. Soft footsteps echo in the distance, though no one moves. You realize it is your own movement, slowed, softened, mirrored in the rhythm of the underworld. Each step is a meditation, each pause a teaching. Ereshkigal's presence is all around, like the gentle pressure of water holding a leaf. She asks nothing, yet everything is received. In the heart of the kingdom, a stone throne waits, empty yet radiant. You approach, feeling no need to sit, only the quiet acknowledgement of presence. The air is still, the soft lights dancing slowly above. You see yourself reflected not as a being of tension, but as a being of calm, of patience, of quiet strength. Here, in Ereshkigal's kingdom, the soul learns that surrender is not an end, but a passage. The distant drum fades, replaced by the whisper of water and the faint rustle of unseen wings. You float among these sounds, letting each one guide you deeper into calm. Your thoughts dissolve like mist, your body sinks like stone into warm sand. The underworld hums softly, a lullaby older than memory, older than the stars above. A final step leads you to a chamber of lightless crystals, faintly glowing with the pulse of the earth itself. You rest your hand on one and feel the slow rhythm of the planet, of life, of quiet transformation. Ereshkigal's shadow passes by, brushing softly against the walls. You sense her saying without words, all is complete, all is received, all is ready to rise again. You lie back upon the soft stone, letting the kingdom cradle you. The echoes of shadow and light wrap around your body, a gentle embrace. Each breath carries the calm of the underworld. Each heartbeat matches the slow pulse of earth. Here, endings are gentle and beginnings wait quietly, ready to bloom when the time comes. Softly the mists settle around you. The small lights dim, folding into shadow. You drift onward, carried by the steady, quiet river of Ereshkigal's care. There is no fear, no hurry. Only the slow unfolding of night, the soft lull of rest, and the promise of renewal. Let the kingdom of shadow hold you now. Let the stillness teach you the gentle art of surrender. The pools, the lights, the slow pulse of stone, all cradle your spirit as it floats. You drift deeper into calm, into soft night, into the quiet heart of the earth itself. Now rest as the shadows return to themselves, as the stars below shimmer briefly and fade. Let us drift onward, carried by the still, gentle current of the underworld, toward a sleep that is complete, peaceful, and whole. The sky is quiet now, softened by twilight, as stars begin to twinkle faintly, one by one, across the vast, darkening canvas above. You float lightly, carried by the hush of evening as the first cool whispers of night brush across the land. The air is faintly scented with cedar and wildflowers, and somewhere far off, a soft stream murmurs its silver song, threading through valleys and shadows alike. This is the space of stillness, where the journey of Inanna begins again, descending slowly into the heart of the netherworld. The gates stand before her, tall and solemn, carved of stone and shadow. Each gate is heavy with meaning. Each threshold a quiet lesson in release and surrender. The wind brushes against their surfaces, soft and patient, carrying the scent of earth and incense, carrying the distant hum of stars. You drift closer, noticing the gentle curves and lines in the carvings, the way shadows bend and stretch across the worn surfaces. Every detail holds memory, every stone a whisper of transformation. Inanna moves forward with calm presence. Her steps are deliberate, measured, and yet they float as lightly as the evening mist curling around her ankles. She does not rush, does not falter. Each gate waits silently, a sentinel of patience and understanding. You drift alongside her, your breath aligning with hers, soft and even, feeling the slow unfolding of courage in every heartbeat. The first gate approaches, its surface etched with symbols of pride and vanity. As Inanna passes through, the air seems to shiver softly, carrying away the weight of self-importance, leaving only a gentle awareness of being. Shadows stretch long behind her, folding slowly into the quiet, and you sense a release, a letting go of what is not needed, a quiet easing into humility. The gate closes behind her with a sound like a sigh, soft and tender, leaving only the echo of stillness. The second gate rises before her, etched with symbols of desire and attachment. She steps forward and the air seems to ripple, carrying the faint scent of myrrh and water. With each step, a subtle weight lifts, leaving her presence lighter, freer, more attuned to the pulse of life around her. The gate whispers softly as it closes, reminding that attachment can be tenderly acknowledged and then gently released. You breathe in its lesson, letting each exhale carry away tension, letting each inhale fill with calm. The third gate stands, shadowed and quiet, marked with the traces of fear. Inanna steps through slowly, and the darkness does not bite. It hums, soft and steady, a presence that asks only to be noticed. Each breath she takes seems to echo in the gate, creating gentle ripples of understanding. Fear is acknowledged, but it is not allowed to linger. It is carried away by the patient rhythm of the journey. You feel it too, release from your chest, leaving a warm calm in its place. Through the fourth gate, marked by sorrow and loss, Inanna moves with quiet grace. The gate seems to exhale around her, soft wind lifting her hair and the folds of her garments. The scent of cedar and damp earth rises, carrying with it the memories of grief gently set aside, honored and then folded into light. Shadows curl like protective arms around her, allowing sorrow to be felt and released in measured arcs, like the ebb and flow of a calm sea. You drift in the same rhythm, letting every memory settle gently, without weight or tension. The fifth gate hums with the presence of anger and resistance. Inanna approaches, steady and luminous. She does not strike, she does not struggle. The gate acknowledges her calm strength, letting the pulse of quiet courage wash over the shadows within. Anger is not destroyed, it is recognized, its energy folded into understanding and compassion, a lesson carried slowly, like water over smooth stones. You sense the same tide moving through your own chest, ebbing and flowing in gentle arcs. The sixth gate is a soft, dense shadow, carrying the weight of secrets and hidden truths. Inanna steps into its quiet embrace, letting the darkness move around her without resistance. Each step illuminates a fragment of hidden wisdom, a gentle awakening to the layers of life that are usually unseen. The gate exhales softly as she passes, carrying her calm presence into the next layer of shadow, leaving only the stillness behind. You drift with her, feeling the gentle uncovering of truths long held in quiet corners of your mind. The seventh and final gate rises, its surface smooth and luminous, reflecting faint silver light. It is the gate of surrender and transformation. Inanna pauses briefly, letting her awareness expand, letting her heart open fully to the quiet rhythm of the netherworld. With each step through the gate, a gentle release unfolds, a shedding of all that is not essential, a soft blossoming into presence, courage, and clarity. Shadows lift and fold back into themselves, leaving only the luminous calm of understanding. You breathe in its quiet, letting the release move through you, filling every corner with gentle light. Beyond the seventh gate, the netherworld stretches wide, not as a place of fear, but as a garden of stillness and renewal. The air is scented with soft incense and damp earth, and the distant hum of waters carries across stone and shadow alike. Inanna moves through it with measured grace, her presence luminous, her heart calm and steady. Each step she takes carries the rhythm of balance, the pulse of courage, and the soft knowledge that all transformation is gentle, deliberate, and tender. Small streams trickle through this quiet realm, silver threads weaving among shadowed stones. The sound is soft and hypnotic, carrying the pulse of life even in places hidden from the sun. You float alongside, letting the rhythm guide your breath, your heartbeat, your mind. Shadows curl gently over smooth stones, lifting and folding with the gentle current, teaching that every ending is a beginning, every release a return to calm. The air shifts softly, carrying the scent of cedar, myrrh, and a faint trace of blossoms. Each inhalation carries calm, each exhalation releases tension. Inanna pauses beside a quiet pool, its surface reflecting faint silver light, the glow of distant stars above. She kneels, letting her hands touch the water, letting ripples carry the echoes of the gates behind her. You feel the same ripple within, moving softly through your chest, settling into every limb, every thought, every breath. The netherworld does not push, it does not demand. It waits in patient rhythm, allowing every lesson to unfold slowly in its own time. Inanna rises, her steps measured, her presence luminous in the calm of this hidden realm. The shadows fold gently behind her, carrying the quiet knowledge of all that has been released, all that has been understood. You drift in the same stillness, carried by the rhythm, held in the pulse of quiet courage. Soft light begins to touch the edges of the netherworld, hinting at a return to the upper world. The air warms gently, carrying the faint hum of life and the distant call of stars. Inanna moves toward it slowly, each step filled with calm, each breath aligning with the rhythm of release, presence, and understanding. Shadows soften into arcs of silver and gray, carrying the memory of her journey, the lessons of humility, courage, and surrender. Let us drift onward, following her gentle path, carried by the rhythm of gates, shadows, and silver waters. Let every breath flow slow and even, every thought soften into calm, every heartbeat align with the gentle pulse of transformation. Now rest as the stars return fully, as the gates fold softly behind, as the netherworld exhales into quiet peace. The night is soft around you and the air feels warmer here, tinged with the faint scent of embers and earth. You drift slowly along a path lit by flickering flames, each one a gentle heartbeat of light. Shadows sway softly in their glow, moving like quiet dancers, teaching the eyes to see without strain. The world is hushed, and in the hush, a deeper warmth begins to awaken. You arrive at a clearing where fire does not burn fiercely, but hums softly, alive and steady. Small sparks rise like tiny stars, floating upward and fading into the night. Each spark feels like a memory, a whisper, a thought settling into calm. You walk slowly, letting the warmth brush against your cheeks, letting it fill the spaces where tension gathers. Here Nurgle stirs, not with loud roar or crashing thunder, but with quiet, steady heat. He is the god of sacred fire, a spirit of inner trials and healing, of transformation born in gentle flames. He is not far, yet he is everywhere in the warmth that flows through the air, in the subtle flicker of light across the stones. His presence asks nothing, only invites the soul to recognize its own quiet strength. The flames rise and fall in a soft rhythm, like the slow inhale and exhale of the earth itself. You notice a circle of stones around the fire, blackened by ages of sacred warmth. They hum faintly, each one a keeper of past lessons, a quiet record of trials that have passed and been transformed. You sit near them, feeling the gentle vibration move through the soles of your feet, through your palms, and into the stillness of your chest. Nurgle's fire is not meant to burn with pain, but to temper. It is the flame that softens the rough edges of spirit, the heat that melts fear and anger into understanding. You see tiny embers floating upward, each one carrying a thought, a memory, a moment of quiet struggle. And as they rise, they fade without harm, teaching you that letting go is part of the cycle of calm. A soft wind brushes across the clearing, carrying the subtle smell of smoke and dry leaves. The flames sway, their light reflecting in your eyes, and you feel warmth move through your body, a gentle pulse in time with your own heartbeat. Each breath becomes slower, deeper, flowing with the rhythm of fire and air. You feel the spirit of Nurgle near you, not as a figure, but as the awareness of inner power, calm and steady, ready to temper the soul like iron in a forge. Small flickers appear along the edges of the fire, forming shapes that are both familiar and strange. They are visions of moments past, challenges faced, and lessons learned. None demand attention. They hover softly like whispers, allowing you to watch without judgment. You feel your chest open, your mind release tension. Each spark a gentle pulse of understanding that nothing is wasted, nothing is lost, only transformed. You rise and step slowly toward the heart of the fire circle. The stones beneath your feet are warm but safe, radiating the heat of sacred patience. Nurgle's presence feels closer now, like the pulse of the flames in your own body. You notice the light reflecting in your hands and your breath, as if the fire has entered your very being. It warms but does not burn. It calms but does not overwhelm. A low, humming sound begins, the subtle music of crackling embers. It is steady, rhythmic, like the slow beat of a drum far beneath the earth. Each note carries a soft lesson. The fire of trial is also the fire of growth. You feel the gentle pressure of heat at the back of your mind, melting away worry, softening the rough shapes of thought into smooth, flowing forms. Your body sinks lightly into the earth, absorbing warmth, absorbing calm, absorbing the quiet strength of Nurgle's sacred flame. In the middle of the fire circle, you notice a small, delicate flame. It is different from the others, still pure and steady. You kneel before it, watching it flicker gently, seeing your own reflection in its tiny light. Here, the flame does not demand action. It only invites observation, quiet recognition. You exhale slowly, letting the warmth seep deeper, feeling any tension turn to smoke and rise softly into the air. Around you, the shadows of trees sway gently, their dark forms moving with the rhythm of the fire. The night hums softly with life, each rustle of leaves, each distant sound, blending with the crackle of the sacred flames. You feel a gentle pulse in the soles of your feet, moving upward through your legs, your chest, your shoulders. Nurgle's fire is in every part of you, a quiet warmth that teaches without harshness, that guides without pressure. The embers rise now, tiny sparks floating upward, twisting slowly in the night air. Each spark carries a thought released, a small burden lifted. They rise gently, fading into darkness without harm, showing that release is not loss but transformation. You watch them drift, feeling lighter, calmer, as if a quiet weight has been removed from your chest. A faint orange glow spreads across the clearing, soft as sunrise, warm as a gentle hug. You feel the heat spread through your body, not fiery but soothing. Nurgle's presence feels close, a shadowed warmth moving with you, steady and calm. You notice that your breathing has slowed, each inhale deep, each exhale longer, carrying away tension like smoke on the wind. The fire circle hums softly now, the flames rising and falling in a meditative rhythm. You lean back, resting your hands on the warm earth, feeling it cradle your body. The sky above is dark, but the warmth of the fire mirrors the quiet glow of the stars. Tiny sparks drift upward like distant lights, gentle and slow, guiding the spirit deeper into calm. A soft wind brings the scent of embers and night-blooming flowers. You inhale, letting the warmth fill you, letting your mind settle into quiet. Nurgle's sacred fire teaches patience, teaches surrender, teaches the gentle tempering of the soul. You feel your shoulders loosen, your jaw relax, your hands rest lightly on your knees. Each flicker of flame is a soft lesson in calm, each spark a gentle reminder that inner fire can heal as much as it can forge. The clearing feels timeless. The stones hum softly beneath you, the flames move with gentle purpose, and the wind whispers quietly through the trees. You feel yourself becoming part of the rhythm, your breath blending with the flicker of flame and the hum of earth. Every part of you is relaxed, open, ready to absorb the quiet strength that surrounds you. You notice now a path of glowing embers leading away from the circle, a trail soft and inviting. You follow it slowly, feeling the warmth beneath your feet, feeling the calm grow in your chest. Each step is measured, gentle, as if you are walking in rhythm with the sacred fire itself. The world seems quiet, still, and safe, and your spirit feels equally at peace. At the end of the embered path, a small pool reflects the firelight. You kneel beside it, watching the flames mirrored in the water, trembling softly with the ripples of a slow breeze. You see your reflection, calm and serene, warmed by sacred fire, tempered by inner trials. The pool does not demand attention. It does not speak. It only reflects, showing the quiet transformation that has already begun within you. A faint glow rises from the water, a gentle shimmer that spreads across the clearing. You feel it touch your face, your shoulders, your hands. The sacred fire has entered your being fully, leaving warmth without burn, calm without weight. Nurgle's presence lingers softly, a guardian of inner strength, a teacher of gentle endurance. You feel the lessons of fire and trial fold into your spirit like soft, warm cloth. The night deepens. The flames around you pulse slowly, dimming into soft embers. The wind hushes. Even the rustle of leaves becomes gentle, blending into the steady hum of earth and fire. You lie back on the warm earth, feeling the calm spread from your toes to the top of your head, a slow, glowing tide of serenity. The sacred fire teaches patience. It teaches surrender. It teaches that trials are not punishments but paths, and that inner strength is born quietly in warmth and calm. You feel the rhythm of Nurgle's flame merge with your own heartbeat, steady and gentle, a lullaby of light and shadow, of fire and stillness. Now rest as the embers fade, as the stars shimmer above, as the world grows quieter with each passing breath. Let us drift onward, carried by the soft warmth of sacred fire, into calm, into peace, into sleep that heals and renews. The night cradles you. The fire has done its work. You are calm, you are safe, you are ready to rise again with the dawn of quiet strength. Night spreads its soft veil across the land, brushing the hills and valleys with quiet shadow. The air is cool, carrying the faint scent of earth and flowers, of dew and old roots. You float lightly above the soil, tracing the gentle curves of the land, letting the soft wind wrap around your shoulders like a warm, calming shawl. Somewhere nearby, a stream murmurs in silver tones, its water threading through rocks and moss, echoing the slow rhythm of the earth's heartbeat. At the center of this quiet place, the dreaming tree rises. Its trunk is wide and steady, rough with the passage of countless years. Its branches curl upward and outward, weaving intricate patterns against the night sky. Leaves shimmer faintly in the moonlight, a gentle, silver-green glow, as though each leaf carries a tiny memory, a whisper of everything that has lived and breathed beneath its shade. You drift closer, feeling the quiet power of the tree's presence, a slow, patient pulse that invites stillness and reflection. Wrapped around the tree's trunk, coiled in patient grace, is the serpent. Its scales shimmer softly, reflecting the moonlight in gentle arcs of silver and deep green. Its eyes are calm, patient, watchful, carrying the wisdom of countless seasons. It does not move in haste, does not strike or threat. Instead, it breathes in rhythm with the tree, a quiet presence, a guardian of both shadow and light. You sense its subtle knowledge, a reminder that wisdom often lies hidden, waiting for the patient heart to notice. The leaves of the dreaming tree rustle in the gentle night breeze. Each sound is soft and deliberate, like a whisper in a quiet temple. The tree sways slowly, its branches brushing lightly against one another, producing a delicate hum that resonates through the air and the earth alike. You float among its shadows and silver light, letting the rhythm settle your thoughts, letting each exhale carry away tension and each inhale draw in calm. The serpent stirs slightly, lifting its head to the stars. Its tongue flicks gently, tasting the night air. There is no hurry, no fear. Only a patient awareness that stretches through time. It winds slowly along the tree's trunk, circling once, twice, a dance of quiet energy. Its movement is a rhythm, a pattern, a pulse that mirrors the slow unfolding of knowledge. You drift alongside, letting the serpent's calm grace fill your mind, letting its stillness seep into your bones. The roots of the dreaming tree stretch deep into the soil, thick and intertwined, each root carrying the memory of rain, sun, and the slow passage of seasons. Small shoots and tiny blossoms rise at its base, delicate and gentle, reaching toward the faint light of stars above. You notice how the earth cradles every root, every seed, every hidden life, moving slowly, steadily, always carrying life in quiet ways. The tree's wisdom is not loud. It is patient, gentle, enduring. Above, the stars shimmer in steady arcs, their light soft and steady, like distant candles in the night. You watch them reflected in the leaves of the dreaming tree, flickering gently with every breath of wind. The serpent moves among the branches, not to harm, but to protect. It coils a soft embrace around the life of the tree. Each movement is deliberate, each pause meaningful, a meditation of balance and quiet presence. You feel your own breath slowing, your chest rising and falling with the rhythm of night, with the pulse of the tree and the serpent alike. The branches of the tree sway in harmony with the gentle wind. Small fruits hang heavy, glowing faintly in the silver light, each one carrying the essence of growth, of patience, of quiet understanding. The serpent glides past them, touching each softly with its scales, a guardian of ripening wisdom. You float beside it, sensing the calm energy that radiates from its body, the slow, steady rhythm of its presence, the lessons of restraint and observation carried in each coil. Moonlight touches the serpent's back as it curves and stretches, moving with the grace of slow water. The tree's leaves whisper in response, rustling softly, a lullaby of ancient knowledge. Roots and branches, scales and leaves, all breathe together in gentle cadence, a harmony that resonates in the still air. You feel yourself sinking deeper into this rhythm, carried by the pulse of quiet guardianship, lulled by the tender movements of life around you. Soft shadows stretch along the ground, curling over roots and stones, brushing gently against the low-hanging branches. Fireflies hover, faint glimmers among the roots, their light flickering in measured arcs, a gentle echo of stars above. The serpent pauses, resting its head lightly upon a root, eyes half closed in serene awareness. It does not demand attention, does not compel. Its wisdom is quiet, teaching that understanding comes not from force, but from patient observation, from gentle attention to the unfolding patterns of life. You breathe slowly, letting this lesson fill your chest. The dreaming tree hums softly with every movement of wind and shadow. Its branches stretch toward the sky, then bend toward the earth, a constant dance of connection and balance. The serpent winds around the trunk, observing, resting, moving with deliberate care. Every coil, every scale, every breath carries meaning, soft and slow. You float among them, letting the calm energy fill every corner of your mind, feeling the gentle pull of awareness that comes not in haste, but in patience and care. At the heart of the tree, deep within its roots, the soil pulses with quiet life. Tiny streams of water flow beneath, carrying nutrients, memories, and silent energy that nourishes the tree above. You sense the slow flow of life, the constant exchange between roots, trunk, and leaves. The serpent watches over it all, a guardian of patience and wisdom, reminding that every cycle, every rhythm, every hidden current contributes to the unfolding of life in gentle, deliberate ways. The night deepens and the stars spread wider across the sky, their light brushing the leaves in quiet arcs. The dreaming tree stretches, its roots firm in the soil, its branches luminous, its leaves whispering in the wind. The serpent coils around it with patient grace, every movement deliberate, every pause full of presence. You drift in their calm, carried by the rhythm of their slow dance, letting your mind float freely, free from tension, free from haste, cradled in gentle understanding. Soft rustling echoes through the leaves as the wind shifts again, brushing lightly over branches, roots, and the serpent's coils. The tree and the serpent move together in quiet harmony, a duet of shadow and light, of presence and awareness. You float among them, feeling your body soften, your thoughts ease, your mind settling into the slow rhythm of night. Every breath is a wave, every heartbeat a gentle drum, every sigh a reminder of the tender flow of life. Now the moon rises higher, casting silver light over every branch, every root, every scale of the serpent. The dreaming tree glows faintly, leaves shimmering like distant stars caught in its canopy. The serpent rests, patient and wise, its coils embracing the tree without constriction, a quiet guardian of understanding and balance. You feel the gentle pulse of life flowing through your own chest, carrying the calm of night, the soft lessons of patience, presence, and quiet courage. Let us drift onward, carried by the rhythm of root and leaf, scale and shadow. Let every breath settle slowly, every heartbeat soften, every thought fold gently into the calm of night. The serpent coils, the tree hums, the stars shine, and the world exhales into quiet peace. Now rest, as the dreaming tree stands still beneath the silvered sky, as the serpent rests in patient grace, as the ancient soil carries its calm to you. The tree hums softly, the serpent sleeps lightly, and you are safe. The air is still. You float slowly into a hall that stretches beyond sight, where walls shimmer softly with the glow of unseen fires. The floor beneath you is smooth, like polished stone, echoing only the faintest whisper of your presence. Light drifts from the ceiling in golden threads, soft as candlelight, moving gently across vast, empty spaces. The atmosphere is hushed, holding time itself in gentle suspension. You step lightly, or perhaps it is the hall that carries you, as if a quiet current flows beneath the surface. In the center, the tablets of destiny rest, luminous and eternal. They are not heavy, not harsh, but radiant with calm authority. Each tablet hums softly as if alive, vibrating with the quiet pulse of the world. They do not demand attention. They only exist, a serene axis around which all fate turns. The hall is vast, its roof lost in shadow. Columns rise like silent sentinels, etched with patterns that seem to move when you look closely. Each pattern tells a story without words, a gentle rhythm of life and memory, of beginnings and endings folded into a single quiet truth. You feel the weight of eternity here, not as a burden but as a soft embrace, holding all moments in patient balance. The gods move here unseen at first, like shadows reflected in water. They do not rush, they do not call. Their presence is calm, their gestures slow and deliberate. You sense a quiet engagement, a gentle weaving of will and intent. This is no battle of anger, no struggle of loud force. It is a meditation in motion, a quiet dance of balance, shaping the currents of fate with steady hands. You drift closer to the tablets. Their surfaces glow softly, etched with signs older than memory, older than stars. They hum with possibility, each vibration carrying a whisper of what might be. The air around them is warm and still, carrying the faint scent of incense and rain-washed earth. You inhale slowly, letting the calm settle into your chest, letting the quiet strength of the hall move through your body. Each god approaches the tablets with care. You see their hands hover not to grasp, but to touch lightly, brushing intention into existence. One moves with slow certainty, another with a gentle pause, as if listening to the whispers of the universe. Their presence is serene, not commanding, teaching that destiny is not forced but offered, shaped by patience and quiet understanding. The light from the tablets spreads softly, reflecting on the faces of the gods. You notice the subtle rhythms in their movements, the gentle tilt of a head, the soft brush of fingers across a surface, the slow inhale and exhale that mirrors the pulse of the hall itself. Each action carries weight, but no pressure. Each decision is a quiet ripple in a vast, still ocean. You drift among them, a silent observer. Time feels fluid here, stretching and folding like water in a calm river. You notice the small details, the faint vibration of the air when a tablet shifts, the slow shimmering of light along the edges, the delicate music of possibility, quiet and steady. With each heartbeat, you feel a soft alignment, a gentle threading of inner calm with the rhythm of the hall. Somewhere in the hall, a faint wind moves, brushing softly against the stone. It carries the scent of distant mountains, of rivers flowing under moonlight, of quiet forest untouched by haste. The tablets absorb it, reflecting the whisper back in waves of faint light. You inhale again, feeling the warmth and the calm of the hall fill your lungs, your spirit, your mind. Every thought softens, every tension releases like leaves drifting downstream. The gods do not speak aloud. They communicate through gesture, through subtle presence. You feel their will touching the tablets as one might touch water, slow, deliberate, mindful of the ripple. Each ripple is small but meaningful. Each movement shapes possibility without forcing it, guiding without tension. You sense that the balance of chaos and order is maintained not through strength, but through stillness, patience, and quiet attentiveness. A soft glow rises from the tablets, illuminating faint symbols that twist and turn in the gentle light. You watch them, allowing your eyes to drift along their curves, feeling the quiet hum of destiny move through you. Each symbol carries a lesson, that fate is not final, that change is natural, that balance is maintained in gentle care. You feel the warmth of understanding grow slowly, a calm certainty in your chest that all is held, all is safe, all is guided by hands both patient and serene. A low, distant murmur rises in the hall like the heartbeat of the world itself. It moves through the floor, through the columns, through the air, and through your body. You match your breath to it, slow and steady, feeling the rhythm settle every corner of thought. The gods continue their quiet work, and you float among them, a silent witness to the gentle shaping of possibility. Light shifts along the tablets again, highlighting faint carvings of stars, rivers, and trees. They speak not with words, but with calm imagery. You notice a river winding across the surface of one tablet, flowing gently around mountains and through valleys. You realize it is a mirror of your own inner landscape, a reflection of calm currents beneath the surface of thought. You breathe with it, letting the gentle movement guide your mind into softness. You drift to another part of the hall where shadows play along walls and columns. Shapes flicker softly in the light of the tablets like spirits in quiet conversation. You feel the balance of forces, gentle, unhurried, precise. Chaos and order are not enemies here. They are partners in a slow dance, a shared rhythm that carries possibility without urgency. You feel the calm deepen in your chest, your shoulders, your hands resting lightly in your lap. A small breeze rises again, moving in delicate patterns through the hall. It brushes your face, your hair, your shoulders, leaving the faintest trace of coolness in its wake. The tablets glow more brightly in response, their light gentle, warm, and soft. You feel each pulse of light as a heartbeat, steady and calm, echoing your own rhythm. The hall seems to expand, and yet it carries you softly, enclosing you in quiet understanding. The gods shift slowly, their presence a soft pressure like water flowing around stone. Each movement carries patience and intention. You sense the tablets absorbing every gesture, every intention, every quiet thought. You exhale fully, letting the calm wash through your chest, your arms, your legs, until even your toes feel the gentle pulse of possibility flowing through them. A soft shimmer rises from the tablets, tiny sparks that drift upward like floating lanterns. They carry no urgency, no call, only the gentle weight of being, of potential realized softly. You watch them rise, each spark a tiny lesson in patience, each flicker a gentle reminder that balance is maintained not through force, but through quiet attention and care. The hall seems to hum with a subtle energy, the rhythm of quiet eternity. You feel it in your fingertips, in your toes, in the small hollow behind your eyes. The gods' work is slow, deliberate, and serene. You feel yourself merging with the rhythm, your own spirit breathing in time with the tablets, your own thoughts softening into gentle currents of possibility. A small column of light falls across the central tablet. You watch the glow shift and stretch, tracing the patterns etched on its surface. Stars, rivers, and trees appear and vanish in the shimmer. You feel your mind follow them, slow, deliberate, resting in each curve and ripple. The calm deepens, settling like water in a still pond. You move back to the center of the hall, resting lightly near the edge of the tablets. Their warmth is subtle but present, like the faint hum of the earth beneath your feet. You notice that each heartbeat, each breath, each pulse of light is aligned, a quiet symphony of intention and balance. You feel your chest rise and fall with it, steady and calm, merging with the soft pulse of eternity. A faint, soft melody rises in the hall. Not loud, not sharp, but a gentle sound carried on the air, a slow song of possibility. You feel it move through your body, vibrating softly in your bones, in your muscles, in the spaces between thoughts. The melody carries calm, teaching that the balance of destiny is not harsh, but tender, sustained by quiet care. The tablets glow again, brighter now, reflecting in the eyes of the gods and in your own. You sense that all possibilities are held gently, every path nurtured by the patient hands of eternity. Chaos and order are threads in a tapestry, each woven carefully, each considered with quiet attention. You exhale fully, letting the understanding sink, filling every part of you with peace. Shadows settle on the walls. The columns hum with soft energy. The light from the tablet slows, dimming gently like the final glow of a setting sun. You feel the warmth linger in your chest, your arms, your legs, carrying calm through your whole body. The hall breathes with you, slow and steady, a rhythm older than thought, older than memory. You rest, lying lightly on the smooth floor, letting the calm of the hall, the steady glow of the tablets, the serene presence of the gods settle fully into you. The faint hum of eternity, the gentle pulse of destiny, fills your mind with softness. You feel no need to move. You feel only calm, only safety, only the quiet unfolding of possibility. Now rest as the tablets of destiny dim their glow, as the gods retreat into gentle shadow, as the hall breathes in soft, slow rhythm. Let us drift onward, carried by the serene pulse of eternity, toward quiet, peaceful sleep. Your spirit is held. Your mind is safe. All is balanced. All is calm. The night stretches wide, soft, and endless, a velvet canopy sprinkled with faint, distant stars. You float gently above the waters, carried by a breeze that whispers of salt and mist, of tides and time long before memory. The moon leans low over the horizon, painting silver paths across the surface, where gentle ripples catch the light like tiny echoes of ancient dreams. Here, in this quiet realm, the world begins to hum softly, a slow, patient rhythm that carries the pulse of life itself. Far below, the waters of chaos stretch in every direction, deep and vast. Their color is a shifting mix of indigo and silver, a mirror of the sky above and the depths beneath. Each wave breathes softly, rolling, curling, then falling back into itself with quiet persistence. You drift closer, feeling the pulse of the water in your chest, aligning your own heartbeat with its patient rhythm. This is the space of Tiamat, the Great Mother, the salt sea itself, whose presence holds both the calm of stillness and the restless stirrings of creation. From the depths, a form rises, immense and flowing, scales shimmering faintly like distant stars. Tiamat moves slowly, deliberately, a river of living water given shape and awareness. Her eyes, deep pools of silver and midnight, watch calmly, without haste, without judgment. She is the mother of all beginnings, the keeper of potential, the quiet force from which all things may rise. You feel the power of her presence, not as fear, but as a soft weight, grounding and steadying, a reminder of the vast, patient rhythm of life and time. The surface of the water responds to her movement, ripples spreading outward in gentle arcs. Waves rise and fall like slow breaths, carrying the memory of storms and quiet days alike. Light from the moon glances across the ripples, sparkling faintly, reminding you that even in the stillest moments, there is motion, there is life, there is the quiet unfolding of possibility. Tiamat hums softly, a sound felt more than heard, resonating in the water, the wind, the space around you, filling the night with a gentle awareness of continuity and calm. She opens her mouth, and the sound of water and wind merges into a low, soothing tone. It is neither music nor voice, but a vibration that flows through your body, through your chest, your limbs, your mind. You feel it as a gentle tide, ebbing and flowing, a pulse of creation itself, a rhythm older than the stars, older than the mountains, older than thought. Every inhalation carries it deeper into your chest. Every exhalation lets it ripple outward, releasing tension, releasing the mind's restlessness.